What was life like after Scott-Carver?
You ever see a good movie and at the end, it was just over.
In the 1950s, Miami-Dade County had a problem. As a result of rigid racial segregation and discriminatory housing practices, many African-American families were unable to find homes. So in 1954, the county erected the James E. Scott Public Housing Project and its neighboring complex, Carver Homes. Originally intended as separate developments, the two were eventually combined and became known as the Scott-Carver Housing Projects. At its peak, Scott-Carver was home to more than 1,000 residents, the vast majority of them African American. For much of the early years, Scott-Carver was home to a thriving black community. Many even called Overtown the Harlem of the South.
It was just a big, happy community. It was one happy family. It had its moments, but it was a happy community.
But the idyllic community soon faced a variety of problems. In the 1970s, overcrowding and racial tensions began to mount. The tensions culminated in 1979 when 4 white Miami police officers were acquitted by an all-white jury after beating 33-year-old Arthur McDuffie to death. The incident sparked what would come to be known as the McDuffie riots. Hundreds were injured, thousands more were arrested. In response, many businesses chose to leave the area and took hundreds of jobs with them. The result was an unemployment rate among Scott-Carver residents of roughly 75%. But despite its problems, many still considered Scott-Carver their home.
From me moving from Little Haiti into Scott Project, it was a totally different experience. I learned more and I moved faster in life more. But out of the bad and the good overrode the bad. Because in the community, all us, no matter what, all us came together. We all time had good times, we all time had fun. It was all right.
The residents, I would say for the most, they stuck together. They stuck together real hard.
But life as residents knew it was to change in 1993 when Miami-Dade County announced its plans to demolish Scott-Carver, citing high levels of crime and deteriorating building conditions. The county promised to replace Scott-Carver with mixed-income housing units and told residents it would be an improvement. But most living in Scott-Carver had no say in the decision itself.
We had an opportunity to express how we felt about them tearing down and the rebuilding of it. But in probably most meetings, you only get a limited speak. You don't get to actually voice everything that you need to voice.
I never went to none of the meetings. I never knew of the meetings, so yeah, all I knew is we was moving and when we had to move and the options that they was giving us. That's it.
And they were supposed to renovate them, but then they came in and said that they were going to demolish them, and we have yet to have our say, and I'm still waiting.
In 1999, the county finally received the necessary funding when it was awarded a $35 million grant from the Department of Housing and Urban Development as part of the Hope 6 initiative. Residents were told they would have to pack their bags.
The residents, I think they kind of found out a little later on. A lot of them was a little upset. That's when they really kind of bumped together, saying they wasn't gonna move.
They gave us lists of places that we could move to, but those places was like, they was taking us from one community they were saying that was bad for us, and it was relocating us in another community that was just as bad for us.
I was looking for them to help me, but you can't really do that because it was so many, oh man, it was so many people.
They even throw people out. They ain't giving people nothing. A lot of people didn't get nothing.
In 2012, 7 years behind schedule and a decade after construction began, the new Scott-Carver mixed-income development was finally completed. But many residents either could not or would not return.
I know quite a few people that did not choose to return. A lot of them purchased homes. A lot of them died waiting on the process to come. A lot of them moved out of town. And a lot of them, you know, they were okay where they was at with their Section 8 and they choose not to move back.
They was telling us we could move in with our Section 8s. Then turn around, we got in, signed our papers, you have to give up your Section 8.
But there is a lot of families that was supposed to come back did not have the ability to come back. I don't even think they went and searched for those families.
Many of the former Scott-Carver residents remain scattered across the country. Those who did return say they have mixed feelings about the new development.
Everybody's like to themselves. It's not the same friendly environment.
Community has been uplifted. Apartments are very beautiful, very updated, very, what should I say, modern. And it's really nice. It's a beautiful place.
You know, you don't walk there now and see people standing on the sidewalk selling drugs, sitting on a crate, saying 9 in a hole, or saying the police are coming. You don't see that. But I do believe, you know, that stuff is still there because you didn't change the people's mentality. You didn't change the pendants. The only thing you changed is the way things look.